Hi everyone, welcome to TGIF, another Friday, another episode. We live in the world of data and it's only getting interesting with each passing day. And of course, when we look at technology innovation, a lot is happening in that world of data. I'm here with David Enright, who is the Data and AI MTC lead for APAC. Dave, welcome to TGIF.
Thanks, it's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. So the first question to you, Dave, is why mesh? Why any technology leader should consider thinking about data mesh?
Sure. So if we really think about what is data mesh something new, it actually isn't. What it really is, as you've probably learned in the last video on this topic, it's an evolution of the story around business intelligence, self-service business intelligence. It's an evolution around the story of democratizing data. So when we think about the benefits, a lot of those benefits apply.
Right.
But what data mesh does is it also builds a framework around what does data democratization really mean.
Right.
And also it encompasses more than just business intelligence. It allows the business users themselves to actually build data products. Mm-hmm. So if we think about the benefits of what I just mentioned, it's all about really being able to have business users that can access data in a faster manner,
right,
which directly increases the value of that data. It's in a language that they understand. Mm-hmm. And the data mesh concept also allows them to enrich that data with their own enrichments. So for example, through a Power App or something like that, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
Another key value proposition though of data mesh is that it kind of makes the assumption that data can't be all put in one place. There is going to be a certain amount of decentralization of our data.
Yeah.
If you think about all of the data vendors over the last few years, we've all been pushing to consolidate.
Right.
But the reality is that you can't consolidate all of your data, right? Some of it's too expensive. You're always going to have hybrid data scenarios where some data may be cloud, some data may be on-prem.
Right.
And you may also have data sits in spreadsheets. Business users love that data. So one of the core assumptions of data mesh is that, hey, we can't necessarily consolidate all of our data. We should try, but at least make it discoverable. At least have it one single point of entry where we go to find that data. Wonderful. So those are some of the benefits.
Wonderful. In fact, you said decentralized storage. In fact, we always thought about data lake when you look at consolidation. Dominantly leads single point of failure, right? So decentralized approach does work, but the question is of implementation. So next question, Dave, is help us understand how do we go about implementing? What building blocks do we have in Microsoft to get to, or rather help somebody look at implementation perspective of data mesh?
Yeah, and you just touched on a really good point, right? So data mesh is a really good, sound concept. However, it does require some fundamental maturity around data governance.
Right.
It doesn't self-service business intelligence or self-service data in general requires some fundamentals around governance because as IT, for example, you can't provide this data service to your organization without understanding what the data is and how it should be classified and therefore how it should be shared. Right. So data mesh does require that assumption. The good news is we do have some tools and capabilities that make that easy.
Yeah.
So if we look at an example here of a data product, this is an insurance product, and we have our risk management data product. So you can think of this as everything to do with risk management inside of this data product. Okay. We also have another data product over there next to you, Sandeep, which may be their claims data, for example, organized into a data product. And the way that you can think about this is that we have inputs into the data product. Now this primarily comes from the data mesh. Right. This is your centralized shared service that IT provide to the business. And this inputs data into our product. And in the Microsoft world, we'd use our tools like Synapse to input that data through data flows, for example. But here's the difference, right? We also have the business users that are also able to push data into our product through a Power App. Right. For example, they may build a Power App that allows assessors to take images, right, in this, and then add that data into the risk management data product. So likewise, we have data coming in, but we also have data that is consumed. So we have our outputs from our data product.
Right.
This could be through Power BI dashboards. It could also be through an app or a flow that actually goes and automates that data. It could pass it from one data product to another, or even allow for data monetization through providing data to external parties through, say, Power Apps.
Perfect.
But the key to all of this is the discovery zone. Yes, that's right. So how do you go and find this data that's in the data product? How does the business user even know where to go and see these data in these data products? So this is where Purview comes into play.
Right.
And Purview is our governance tool.
Right.
And it does a few different capabilities, but one of the core capabilities is data classification, and then data discovery, and then also enabling the policy around this risk management data product so that people can access it in a self-service manner.
Wonderful. This is very insightful, Dave. In fact, I want to touch upon another topic, which is, let's assume a scenario where there are multiple groups in an organization. If you implement data mesh, how does the blueprint look for individual organization? And on the whole, for the organization, multiplier effect in terms of different groups doing all this, and how do they look at data discovery and consumption of it, right? So that's one other topic, but this is truly insightful. Thank you so much for your time, Dave.
No worries.
And again, as you heard, we spoke about data mesh, the why part of it. Of course, we're talking about moving from centralized world to decentralized operating environment. And of course, the bigger portion, as Dave rightly said, is the discovery zone, the discovery part in terms of how to ensure business can discover where is the data, what data do they have, and how do they ensure they can use that to good use as they go along. Yeah. Awesome. Good summary, Dave.
Yep, perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Sandy.
And a pleasure hosting you.
Yep.
And for everyone watching us today, have a wonderful Friday. Thanks for watching TGIF. Keep watching TGIF. And a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye-bye.